So, hello everyone. Greetings once again. Um, don't really have anything too planned out. I just sort of wanted to get in the video up, um, get some words in, keep a nice relationship with anyone that might like to start one by watching these. So I recently got my ears pierced. I did so last week, and I remember last time the sound of my voice was maybe a little low, so I'm going to try to speak up a little bit more. But yeah, I got just some little 14 gauges. I think eventually I plan to stretch them out. I don't know to what size. Um, but I've I've always thought about piercings. These are my first piercing. Well, a couple of years ago I did my tongue, but that was like in middle school without my parents' permission, done by a friend of mine holding out my tongue, pushing this big old needle through there. It was an interesting experience. I can tell the story now. So it's a good story, and I get a laugh out of it every once in a while. But ever since I was a kid, I was attracted to. I just felt this pull towards dreads, for one, the locks, and and piercings. And I was never really sure why. Now that that tongue thing was it was in middle school, or pretty sure it was in the end of middle school, like beginning of high school, something like that. So I was pretty young, and then after that, I I had that for like maybe a year, and then after that, I really started on my my spiritual journey, I believe. I believe it was around that time. Yeah. And since then, whenever I think about um, piercings and tattoos, and even things like jewelry, I recently have been reunited with this uh, power tool. And these are amethyst, um, and I actually was at a festival, one of the first festivals I'd been to, a music festival years ago, and I was still pretty young, and it was the last night of the festival, and I had this crazy dream, and I had seen this necklace with these three awesome stones on it, and then the next morning, I don't know what I was doing, but I was checking out some vendors before they were packing up, and I saw this there, and that I dreamt about it the night before, and I was like, wow, I think I should have this in my life. Um, and I gave it to my younger brother years ago, and he never used it. And I had actually been thinking about it the last several months, and I've asked him if he had it, but he didn't know where it was. And turns out my mom had it, so I asked her, and now I have it on. um, yeah, so things like jewelry and piercings and tattoos and all that. Um, there's kind of this like there's I mean two basic sides that I've always looked at it from. There's um, these are um, tools or amulets and uh, focalized energetic powerhouses of particular frequencies that we can facilitate for our own means and intention. Um, or there I'm talking specifically of crystals and herbs even, like herb magic and spell casting and all this. Um, I dabble in all this. Not, not a whole lot, but I do, and it's some really powerful stuff. If anyone is thinking about it, there's some real potential. Um, Herb magic is so simple. It can be. It can be really complicated, but it can be so simple. Um, and it's really, really powerful. Really good link to source and to get things moving in your life. Um, as are the crystals Tonight I'm actually going to an Akashic record initiation by the Yodelan Mystery School down here in South Florida, and I know, more, I actually know, I think all the guys that put it on, and the main alchemist. Um, he, uh, he does a lot of crystal work. He's got an amazing crystal altar, and it's powerful. Really, really good stuff, if you're into it. And so I digress a lot. This is Rudraksha, by the way, which I have found in the last couple of days goes really well with amethyst. I'll talk about Rudraksha some other time. So piercings and crystals and all these things, they've been used, for millennia, tattoos by the human race, by the species, um, for the purpose of ritual and ceremony and magic and linking with the divine and with the spirits. And this, it's kind of funny that now, I mean, it used to be that piercings, and it still is in many parts of the world, but piercings are traditionally done in the midst of ritual and ceremony, like in the midst of the plateau or orgasm of a ritual ceremony. I mean, you've got all over like Asia and Southeast kind of thing, like the whole piercing through the mouths, big things like metal skewers, thick, and they don't feel a thing and they don't bleed, because they do it while they're in trance and all this. I've read that certain native tribes, I think Native American tribes, they do, I don't know if they still do, but they traditionally do a lot of self-mutilation in their ritual to enter into a trance, into the whole vision quest thing, to produce these visions. And it kind of goes back into the stressing the body out enough, whether by fasting, dancing, drumming, praying, or whatever, to create to go over that edge where your body finally pretty much produces this big blast of DMT, and thus come on the visions and the revelations. But so yeah, so this is really sacred stuff, really ancient tribal root stuff. This body modification and the usage of tools like crystals and and on the path, everyone I think goes through both of the stages. Like, oh, this helps me, and they do. The crystals help and the herbs help, and I mean, piercings have been used for the Native Americans, by the way. They hang themselves. They hook themselves on stuff and they hang like they do nowadays, except now it's in the middle of a club with like techno music going on. But it's still, it's this displaced modernist way of connecting to our ancient roots. That's what I was going to say. We are sold tattoos and piercings now, but now the tattoos don't really, or a lot of tattoos don't have this magical symbolism that they still have in Asia and those the Buddhists all over certain parts of Asia. That's what they do. That's their whole life. They study and create magical tattoos. But yeah, I'm making big circles as I go as I go along. So and the piercings. I mean, we've got the meridians along our bodies. In journeys and plant journeys, I've seen, know, certain, I guess it's the meridians. There's, it didn't resemble what I've seen in like acupuncturist charts, um, but I've seen what can only be described as the meridians or the nidras, um, which, I mean, there's tons of them, and piercing them can allow for a release of blockage and for an easy flow, um, which is exactly what I felt when I got my ears pierced. Um, I've always heard of the euphoria gained by, you know, people who pierce and get tattoos and stuff, but it really, I wasn't expecting at all something so immediate and tangible. Um, it was nice. It was very, very pleasing. It was as if in opening those holes in my earlobes, I really did allow um, for an escape of tension that I was holding within my body. Um, and so that was pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna go over the 15-minute limit here. I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try to talk really fast here, so bear with me. But it was cool. It was really interesting. Oh, so the whole two viewpoints that I keep mentioning and never quite get to. You know, these things are here and they can help me evolve and they can help me grow and they can help me expand my consciousness. But then at the same time, I really know that everything that I need and everything that is outside and that I could use to help me is a reflection or um, a manifestation of something that is within myself, because we are the microcosm to the macrocosm. So within ourselves is all the potential for anything. Um, so you know, everyone on the path, at least I think, I know I do it a lot. I switch back and forth. I have phases. Some of them are really quick, and then some of them are really long. Um, and I just happened to be in a phase where I felt like I needed it. But I think that's what it comes down to. Like your body, um, and you know yourself, whether consciously or not. If it's consciously, that's good, and then if not, that works out fine. Knows, you know, what the stage that you're living in presently could benefit the most from, and you know, so it's really all up to preference at the moment. You know, so if you like the crystals, if you like, you know, magic, and you like and whatever you like, whatever it be, do it. If you know, if you feel that that helps you and that makes you feel good, do it, because it's going to make you feel good and it's going to bring power and happiness to you, and then you can bring goodness and power and happiness to others. Um, and the word power here, I don't think is really power in the traditional sense, but I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, getting the piercing was really, really cool. It was really interesting. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all, but it felt like something. But I don't know what it felt like at all. It was very interesting, the actual sensation of it. And the guy that did it um, is very good at what he does. And leaving there, I felt like I had been initiated into the order of body modification or something. It was really funny, um, really cool. Just, you know, I don't know. I don't. You know, life is good, and I'm happy exactly where I'm at. Um, so I think I've said everything I need to say. I've been doing some magic lately, um, and I mean, not a whole lot of like, you know, heavy magic, but I've been thinking a lot about magic, so I've been doing some magic just by that. But alright, I've got like 10 seconds left, so I think that's about it. Thank you all for bearing with me, and blessings.